My name's Sophia. I'm in 7th grade and I'm from Windsor, Connecticut.
I'm Eli. I'm in 8th grade.
I'm Evan and I'm in 8th grade too.
I'm Lily. I'm a junior. I've been here since 6th grade and I'm from Windsor.
Hey guys, I'm Anish. I'm a senior here from Glastonbury and I've been here since my freshman year.
John,
Yeah. Alright, good. Yeah, come on in. Have a seat anywhere. Some seats here. Come over here. There you go. Any questions for them directly? I mean, so, why they came here, what they liked about it,
go ahead and just take 5 seats.
Come on in.
All right.
A couple seats here. There's 4 seats over here. Come on.
Just 4 seats.
All right. Back to see here. Come on. Great. So these students we sprung from class so that they could answer questions about the school. So, or you guys could just, what are you excited about this year? In your work, maybe you could get going with that.
So I'm a senior and I'm really excited to get the college application process started. I've been touring many schools since the end of junior year, and it's been a ride to narrow down my schools and start applications. That's really exciting to be moving on to the next step. And I think at Watkinson, the assistance with the college office with Mr. Oldram is really helpful. They're very organized. Oh, and Ms. Ramos. They're very organized in the things that they do, and it's very helpful. I think another thing as well is Watkinson allows you to take an independent study if you choose to create your own curriculum for a course. And I'm pursuing one in astronomy, so I'm excited for the different projects and assignments and lectures I'll be participating in.
Something I really love about Watkinson is as you get into upper school, and especially your junior and senior years, you're able to kind of personalize exactly what you're taking and take what you love to do. So something I'm doing this year is my advanced sculpture class, which I've been taking like 3D art related classes since freshman year, but this year I really get to go my own direction with this class. There are 3 people in it, and kind of just make whatever I want, and I'm loving it so far.
So like as a 7th grader, you see all the cool things that the 8th graders do and all the things they do in their English classes and science. They do all these projects and then they share them with the whole middle school. So I'm excited to be an 8th grader because now this year we get to do those projects instead of just seeing the kids a grade above us do them.
Like Evan said, I'm excited for the big projects, especially the English ones. Since we're doing Shakespeare monologues in the middle of the year, so that's going to be fun.
I'm excited for making new friends and also getting to do more projects and getting to be more creative and having a good time with them.
Questions from any of the students or parents about for these guys? Yeah.
What does an independent study look like? What do you have to pull it together? Who's helping you with that? Are you taking a class somewhere else? What's involved in something like that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So essentially, as a junior, I'm a very STEM-focused individual, and Watkinson has a lot of humanity classes that are offered. And I have a huge passion for astronomy, and so in order for me to pursue that, I decided to go to a teacher and have them become my mentor and ask if they would be my mentor for my course. And so what we did during my junior spring was create a little curriculum, not a fully finished one, but one that could be modified and started with. And so we created this little curriculum that would allow me to start my independent study, and what that entails was I would take online courses, do research projects here at Watkinson, and so you have a lot of freedom with your independent study because it's up to you and your mentor, instructor to create your own syllabus. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you.
How many of you are, well, the younger ones, interested in maybe some of the creative arts or diploma programs? And then if you guys want to talk about what extra things you're involved with
Right.
outside of schools? Yeah,
Yes.
I'll speak to that.
Okay.
Okay. So when I get older and I'm like in 10th, 11th grade, you could say, I want to join the CAP program, and it stands for Creative Arts Program. So in that program, I think you can do like a bunch of different well, you have to focus on one section like drawing or painting, and so like you get credits, I think, toward it, and so that's what I want to do.
Lily could probably fill in.
Yeah.
So CAP is a really cool program. It's called the Creative Arts Diploma Program, and I've been in it since freshman year. Basically, you choose your art form. It's called your domain that you want to focus on. That could be writing or music or visual art, dance, musical theater, stuff like that. There's one person who's doing musical theater, so you can choose your own, kind of focusing on it. I'm doing music and visual art. And what that entails is taking classes in your domain. Those classes aren't entirely composed of CAP people. And then there's one class called CAP Diploma Seminar, which is, this year, it's all of the juniors in the Creative Arts program. And it's a seminar style class, so it's a lot of discussion and reading and talking about what art means based on culture, stuff like that. We work with the UHeart library and use their musical archives and stuff. It's really cool, and you end up earning an extra diploma when you graduate. So you graduate with 2 diplomas if you complete the program. There's another diploma program called Global Studies.
And she's part of that too, so she'll get 3 diplomas. So yeah, I'm part of the Global Studies Diploma Program, and it's a really great program, as you can watch speakers that come to Watkinson. We went to Stephen Breyer last night at the Bushnell. We've had Ramina Nabai, a very famous author, visit, and several others, really relevant authors, politicians, etc., you name it, come to Watkinson and speak about their work. And it's a great chance for us to learn about what's out there in the real world and get one face-to-face conversation with these amazing people. And also, as a senior in Global Studies, you'll be able to pursue your own research project, a capstone project, which will be presented to parents and other students in Watkinson. And I'll be doing mine, hopefully, on the International Space Race. So there's a lot of variety you could choose to see, which is there in the Global Studies Diploma Program. So yeah.
Any other questions? Yeah.
The CAP program, do you guys have working artists who come in to facilitate workshops or
Yeah, all the
art
time.
talks?
They're called master classes. We have them once every couple of months, as often as every couple of weeks sometimes. Our next one is actually on Monday, and some members of the Hartford Symphony are coming in and doing a workshop with us in the amphitheater on like jazz. We're going to be doing some improv music, stuff like that. We've had writers come in, we've had an improv comedy class, we've had dance classes. It's not always something you're comfortable with, especially since I'm a musician and visual artist. Dancing isn't my thing at all, but that's something you have to do. CAP also goes on a lot of trips, like Global Studies. We went to see A Midsummer Night's Dream. We go to New York a couple times a year. We went to the Wadsworth. We've only had 2 this year so far, the Wadsworth and Midsummer Night's Dream at the Hartford stage. But all throughout the year, we're going places. We have people coming in. It's really involved with the Hartford arts community.
I'll just stop there for a second and say that part of our strategic plan at Watkinson, we're in our 2nd year, as implementing the school as community and the community as school. So there's a really intentional effort to bring in as many outsiders into our campus and have them interact with our students. And then also take our students out into the community and other organizations and connect with them. So it's not like we're trying to have this, Watkinson inside a bubble. We really want to, we're very proud to be a Hartford school, and we want to use the resources that are available for us in the community as much as possible. So it's very intentional. The head of school is constantly out, and many of us are out and about meeting other organizations and getting involved. because we don't want to be the best kept secret in Hartford anymore. So trying to blow the lid off that. So any let's see, any other questions about? Well, I'll ask you guys this. What about? There's a lot of talk about the diploma programs. What if a student's just interested in science or history? How, or what about athletics and things like that? You want to speak to that?
So a great thing about Watkinson is that we have partnerships with other areas. So at the University of Hartford, if you're passionate in a very STEM-focused area, you can take classes over there and gain credit in more advanced STEM topics. If you're interested in athletics, we have great programs here. A lot of students, we have had students who have played in college and have gone to the Division III, Division II, Division I level. So great basketball, frisbee, etc. programs here. You want that?
Something I love about Watkinson is this building over here called Toad Hall. It's the Arts and Athletics Center. So we have our theater, we have a dance studio. It's also the center with the locker rooms, the weight rooms, the athletic offices, the fields are right outside. So Watkinson's really about synthesizing the arts and athletics. If you want to do both, you can, and it's really encouraged.
So when you're in elementary school, the one thing you hear about middle school is, oh man, they don't have recess. But when you're here, you get to do like your sports practice in the middle of the day. I do soccer, basketball, and tennis. So right now it's soccer season. So every day, like right after this, we actually have soccer out there. And then after that, we get to go to lunch. So it's nice because you kind of do have recess, even though it's soccer. It's so good.
But like when you have that recess, you could say you get to pick what you want. So right now in the middle school, it's either tennis or soccer, and so you get to pick which one you want. And then like the soccer teams, they get to like verse other schools, and so it's really fun.
And for the sports, like in middle school, anyone can do it. Like if you don't have any experience in the sport and you just want to try out, you still can do it. And you'll participate in a lot of stuff in it, even if you didn't do it. And everyone will like help you out.
I have a question for the crowd. What are you looking for? What are some of the things you're concerned about for your next school, for your children, and students too? What are you looking for in school? Yeah.
So actually, I was going to ask you guys, turn it back on you guys, to talk to me a little bit about the diversity on campus. So ethnic, religious, gender, diversity here.
That's a great question. Here at Watkinson, we do have affinity groups for different types of people. So if you're a colored male, we have an affinity group named Titans. I'm part of that. We talk about global issues. We hold events. We go to retreats. And at the moment, we're in progress of holding a event at Watkinson where different people, different schools of color are going to come here. And not just color, but we're going to talk about global issues that surround issues of people of color. And different other clubs do have these sort of groups. So for example, we do have La Familia, which is a affinity group for Hispanic people. Titans, which I mentioned. Ravens is same as Titans except for females. And Safe Club, which is a safe space for people of any sexuality to talk about news and global occurrences that occur.
How hard is it to be a new student? I mean, you were new last year. You guys were fairly new. You guys have been around for a while, but you might remember.
Yeah. When I was a freshman, I came from a public school with about 2,000 kids, and coming to this small area, which most kids already had friendships built from their middle school, I thought it would be difficult to, enter their bind and join their friendships. But it was a very easy process to move in to Watkinson culture. With retreats that we have in the beginning of the year, where our grade goes out to different areas and we spend times with bonding, it was so easy to meet everyone and learn about each other. So I think socially, there was no trouble for me to get adjusted.
I came as a new sixth grader, which I think is a little bit easier than coming as a freshman because everyone's new. But I was a little nervous coming from a public elementary school. My grade had 19 people, and we all just kind of like moved around to each class in a clump. We were immediately really close. So there were 9 girls in my grade, and we all went out and did stuff together. So the social environment as a new student is so easy to get into. Everyone at Watkinson is just so accepting. Any grade coming in as a new student, I think it's super easy.
And so I think this year there were like 12 new kids in the 8th grade, so it's not like you're the only new student. There's like a lot of other people, and everyone that's already there is like really open to being friends with everyone that's new. So it's really great because it's easy to get into friendships and stuff.
I came in 6th grade. It was easy for me, and for a lot of other people to make friendships. Since it's in middle school, it's really small, and you don't just make friends with just your grade. You make it throughout the whole middle school, and with some upper schoolers, and so that expands your variety of friends, and so so you can talk to more than one people, and then you can meet their friends.
I came here during the middle of 6th grade, now I'm in 7th grade, and it was pretty much an easy switch, but we only had 14 people in our grade, so it was nice because we're at the other school that I went to, we had like 150 kids in the grade, which is a lot, and now you get to like really know your friends and who you have to work with if you have to work with them, and like Eli was saying, like you also get to know more people in the school, like in the middle school, because when you do your activities, you're with them. When you go to lunch, you're with them, and when you're in visor, you're with them. So most of the time, you're usually with some of them.
So I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
So what's the most challenging thing you had to overcome coming to Watkinson?
Okay. Something was making that adjustment, I guess. Like, I had to, like, move, I guess you could say, like, think a different way. Like, it was different because I'm used to thinking, like, as the grades have been, there's always been more students. And now there's only a little bit of us, so now you really need to, like, start to inform with your smaller group of kids.
So one of the most challenging things for me was speaking up, since since in my old school, I was like surrounded by 21 kids in my class, so I could sort of like hide in the back. But now when there's like 10 kids in my classroom, I can't hide. Yeah, so I can't hide anymore. So I had to work on like letting them know like I'm there, like working on my voice so they can hear my views on things.
This might not apply to many other people, but the hardest thing for me, I live like really far away. Like it takes me like 45 minutes to an hour to get here every morning. So it was kind of hard for me to wake up at 5:45 every morning because I really wasn't doing that before. So that was the hardest thing for me.
So I think a positive thing about Watkinson is that in our classes and around campus, we think in a different way than a lot of other schools. In English class, say the other day, we spent the entire class analyzing the first sentence of a short story by F. Scott Fitzgerald, which was great because reading the rest of the story, then we had all of this insight that we had spent an hour and 20 minutes analyzing the sentence. So obviously on a smaller scale, in 6th grade, it was harder for me to transition my thinking into something more analytical, which has benefited me so greatly now, but it was tough to get that transition, I think.
I think a difficult transition was prioritizing my time differently. At public school, I would be home by around 2:30 but now at Watkinson, I get home around 5:45 after sports and rush hour. So doing all my homework on time, which I always do, and scheduling my time like that was something important. And I think what's great about Watkinson is our block schedule, meaning we have an hour, 20-minute classes, 4 classes a day, meaning you don't have your 8 classes at once on one day. You have time to think and recollect what you just learned. So I think it was a harder adjustment to adjust to the time itself, but it was a better adjustment to conform to a different schedule, if that makes sense.
So one last question. So you have this really long commute, which I choose my jobs based on my commute. I would commute 45 minutes. So what was it about Watkinson for you that makes you get up every morning like it's worth it? It's great.
Well, actually, my dad is the dean of students.
Full disclosure.
But Evan, you did choose, your dad didn't say you have to come to
Yeah.
Watkinson,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So-
It's nice because there's like 5 kids in my art class, so if I need help with like something, the art teacher can always help me instead of having to run around between like 30 kids, like I might be in a different school. So I definitely chose to come here, but the main, like I knew about it because of my dad.
Question for you for outside of the school. Do you guys find it easy to keep your friendships outside of the school? I mean, you spend so much time here or in your sports. You know, can you find time on weekends or, you know, evenings or something like that besides, you know, on the phone?
Yeah,
Skype?
that's a great question. Since I've come here, I haven't lost contact with any of my old Glastonbury friends. I hang out with them regularly. So I'm not just isolated with my friends at Watkinson. I'm still able to hang out with everyone outside my school. And even within Watkinson, if you prioritize your time correctly and you do all your homework, you have time to meet with friends and do stuff outside of school. I think my answer might be a little bit skewed because it's the start of senior year and a lot of work goes into testing and applications. So at the moment, it's probably not that easy, but you'll definitely find time to be yourself and do other things outside of school.
My group actually stopped at and saw Terry Ulrum in the College Counseling Center. So this is a question more for Lily and Anish, being in 11th and 12th grade. Can you speak a little bit about what's the most recent thing you did around the college search process? Maybe you started.
So Watkinson starts college nights in sophomore year. College nights are kind of like an entity on campus. Mr. Ulrum gets up at all school and goes, seniors, college night. So we started in sophomore year, which is early, I think, and Mr. Ulrum encouraged us this summer going into junior year to start looking at schools, which I did. I visited a couple schools. And then in the beginning of junior year, our retreat is actually college visits, so we went to Marist and Skidmore. So we get to see colleges as a grade, go on tours, stuff like that. And then continuing through junior year, of course, we have a lot more college nights and a lot more preparation for what Anish is going through.
So for me, at the start of senior year, we finished our common application, which is the website that we use to send out all of our applications to our colleges. And we meet with him individually. So every student has to set a time with him and spend about 45 minutes, maybe half hour, 45 minutes, to speak with him about where they're at the college process, what colleges they're applying to, what they're looking at, and get a final say on what's happening. And so that's the most recent thing. We've had our meetings, we've finished our college lists, and in a few weeks we'll be ready to submit to colleges. So yeah.
But Anish, you've been interviewing too, right?
Oh, right. Yeah. A few of us have also scheduled interviews with different schools. So I've interviewed with 2 schools so far, and other students, if they choose to, and if they're comfortable with, will also do interviews at this point in time as well.
Well, I'm going to let you guys get back to class, because that's what you're here for. But I really appreciate you taking the time.